When God is about to release something extraordinary into a woman's life, he always leaves signs. Before a divine shift, he stirs your spirit, interrupts your routines, and creates moments that defy human logic. In this video, you'll discover 7 clear signs that God is preparing something greater for your life. These are not coincidences, they are divine indicators. Stay until the end, because what I'm about to share could be the confirmation of your prayers, the encouragement your soul has been craving, the revelation that your breakthrough is near. Let's begin. Sign 1, isolation for preparation. Beloved, before God entrusts a woman with something extraordinary, something that carries eternal weight and generational impact, he often draws her into a season of separation. But this separation is not to destroy you, it is to prepare you. Think about Esther. That young Jewish woman chosen for greatness wasn't rushed into destiny. She was set apart and went through an entire year of preparation with oils, spices, and cleansing before she could even stand before the king. Esther 2:12. Her preparation wasn't glamorous, but it was absolutely necessary. And let me speak to your heart. When God sets you apart, you might feel forgotten by friends, misunderstood by family, and invisible to the world. But in reality, heaven is grooming you. You are like fine wine, hidden in the cellar until the appointed time. A woman of destiny must understand this truth. Silence is not rejection, it is incubation. When a seed is buried, it may look like death, but in truth, it is preparation for resurrection. Many women confuse isolation with abandonment, but the truth is, isolation is God's classroom. It is the furnace where character is shaped, the mirror where weaknesses are revealed, and the altar where your dependence on God is forged. The oil of Esther flowed out of her season of isolation. The courage of Deborah was refined in hiddenness. The faith of Mary, the mother of Jesus, was nurtured in the quiet obscurity of Nazareth. So if you're listening to this right now and you feel cut off, overlooked, or sidelined, hear me. God is preparing you for something so big, so sacred, that the noise of the crowd cannot be allowed to contaminate your process. Destiny cannot be rushed. Diamonds form under pressure, but also in the dark. Do not despise your season of isolation. It is proof that God is trusting you with something far greater than the ordinary. Sign 2, a divine discontent with the old. There comes a moment when what once satisfied you no longer quenches your thirst. Isaiah 43:18-19 reminds us, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing." When heaven is about to enlarge a woman's territory, God allows a holy dissatisfaction to rise within her spirit. What once thrilled her suddenly feels empty. The comfort zones that once embraced her now feel like cages. This is not depression, it is divine transition. It is the stirring of the eagle in the nest, shaking up the straw so that the eaglet cannot remain comfortable where it is. Think of Hannah in 1 Samuel 1. Though Elkanah gave her double portions, her heart was restless. She could no longer be satisfied with second-hand comfort because heaven had ordained her to birth Samuel, the prophet who would anoint kings and transform a nation. That gnawing in her soul was not madness. It was a sign that something greater was on the way. So hear me. When you feel unsettled in a place that once felt like home, don't fight it. Flow with it. It is God saying, "Daughter, I am enlarging your capacity." Just like a pregnant woman cannot remain comfortable in the clothes of her past trimester, a woman carrying destiny cannot remain clothed in yesterday's blessings. Divine discontent is the labor pain of greatness. It is God disconnecting you from the old so he can position you for the new. Many women miss their breakthrough because they mislabel this season as failure, when in truth it is favor. The very frustration you feel may be heaven's invitation to step into a bigger assignment. What once was enough is no longer enough. And that is not a curse, it is a clue. It is the sound of heaven declaring, "Get ready, I am birthing something new in you." Beloved, do not mourn the old wineskin, for God is pouring new wine. If he is stirring you, stretching you, and making you restless, it is only because he is about to release you into something far greater than your history. Sign 3. A demand to let go of what's in your hand. When God is preparing to enlarge a woman's life, when he is about to entrust her with a blessing that carries the very weight of destiny, he almost always requires her to release something precious. This is not a cruel demand. It is a divine principle woven into the very fabric of the kingdom. And here is the principle. You cannot step into tomorrow while still clinging to yesterday. Ruth 1:16 gives us a profound example of this truth. Ruth, a widow from Moab, looked at her mother-in-law Naomi and declared with holy boldness, "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people and your God, my God." In that single act of surrender, Ruth released her past in Moab and stepped into her future in Bethlehem, the very lineage that would one day produce King David and ultimately Jesus Christ. The moment she let go, her destiny opened. And the same is true for you. God will sometimes place his finger on something in your hand, not because he wants to take from you, but because he wants to make room for something greater. Letting go may feel painful, but it is never loss. It is divine exchange. He cannot place the promised seed into hands that are still clinging tightly to yesterday's manna. So if God is asking you to release a relationship, a position, or even a dream, trust him. Your surrender is the doorway to your next season. Ruth's decision to leave Moab was not just relocation, it was surrender. By releasing her past, she stepped into Bethlehem, Boaz's field, and the very lineage of Christ. The truth is simple. Big blessings often require big releases. God may call you to let go of toxic relationships, limiting habits, or false securities, not to strip you, but to prepare you for more. A clenched fist cannot receive. What feels familiar may actually be blocking your destiny. Like holding a seashell while a pearl drifts nearby, you must release the lesser to grasp the greater. God's call to let go is never subtraction. It is multiplication, redirection, and preparation for the next dimension of your calling. When God is about to release something extraordinary, your spirit becomes unusually alert. Just like Elizabeth felt her baby leap at Mary's greeting, you begin to sense the presence of God before the promise is visible. Prayer feels like breath. Worship burns like fire. Dreams become vivid. Even your tears carry divine messages. It's the rhythm of spiritual pregnancy. The inner stirring comes before the outward revealing. What feels like unusual sensitivity is not random. It is heaven tuning your soul to its frequency, aligning you with God's perfect timing. Ruth's decision was not just about changing locations. It was about surrendering her entire identity to step into God's greater plan. Letting go of Moab gave her access to Bethlehem, Boaz, and ultimately the lineage of the Messiah. Likewise, God often asks us to release relationships, habits, or securities that hold us back. What feels like loss is actually pruning for greater fruit. Holding on keeps us stuck, but releasing positions us to receive. Release is not rejection. It is redirection toward destiny. God positions people in your life who carry the keys to your destiny. Some are divine assignments, mentors, partners, encouragers, or silent supporters, guiding you into your next season. Discernment is key. Divine connections add to your purpose. Distractions drain it. At the same time, God plants an inner witness in your spirit, a deep knowing that confirms his promises. Like Mary, even in the face of fear or impossibility, your faith anchors you to what God has spoken. These signs are heaven's way of aligning you for your destiny. Even when it looks impossible, God is at work. Sarah laughed when she first heard she would bear a son in her old age. But once Isaac was conceived, she knew this was not imagination. It was God's appointed time. The inner witness is heaven's fingerprint on your soul, marking you for destiny even before the manifestation appears. Women of destiny must recognize this inner knowing. It is the peace that makes no sense in the middle of chaos. It is the joy that wells up even when the bank account is empty. It is the conviction that causes you to prepare for what has not yet arrived, just as Noah built the ark before it rained. It is that stirring in your spirit that whispers, something big is on the horizon. Even when your surroundings suggest otherwise, before you see it in your hands, you will feel it in your spirit. That feeling is not fantasy. It is faith. That conviction is not coincidence. It is confirmation. When God plants this inner knowing, no amount of doubt, criticism, or delay can uproot it. You may not have all the details, but you have the deposit. You may not see the manifestation yet, but you carry the assurance. That assurance is heaven's way of saying, "Daughter, it is closer than you think." Ephesians 3:20 declares, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us, let this be the anchor of your soul." When God is about to do something monumental for a woman, he leaves signs, not to confuse her, but to confirm her. Isolation is not abandonment, it is preparation. Dissatisfaction with the old is not depression, it is transition. Letting go of what is in your hand is not loss, it is divine exchange. Spiritual sensitivity is not weakness, it is alignment. Pressure is not punishment, it is capacity building.